Now, I was just telling about when you are using some, like for example, if you're using electromagnetic wave, okay, and then you irradiate the sample, okay, using electromagnetic wave, the electromagnetic wave, part of the energy will be absorbed by the organic compound, and part of it will be absorbed by the spectrometer, okay, spectrophotometer. So the energy that you are going to absorb is going to be actually used for stretching, bending, and twisting of the molecules or the bond, okay. So these bonds, they have a natural frequency, okay. If you can actually irradiate them using so that we can reach the natural frequency, okay, this one you should have actually learned in physics. If you learn physics, okay, if you have something vibrating at the natural frequency, you can reach resonance. So when you have resonance, the amplitude is going to be the highest at that moment, okay. So basically what happens is you are going to have a larger vibration, and then the energy that is going to be absorbed is going to be more, and we call it as resonance frequency, okay. So what happens is, okay, we are going to actually, some parts of the energy is going to be absorbed by the sample, and certain part will be detected by spectrophotometer. So once we actually detect them using spectrophotometer, we can actually identify using graph, okay, how much like for example the absorbance will be, okay. So there they have actually given you some kind of data, and they will ask you what is going to be the compound or something like that. So if you look at the absorbance, we have different types. They look at the width, okay. The width is either broad or sharp, okay, or the intensity, is it actually strong or weak, okay. The part that we are very important over here is you are going to ignore the 800 to 1400 region. So if you look over here, I have actually canceled this part, okay. If you see here, this is going to be the 800 to 1400, the part that I asked you to ignore, okay. All this I have canceled here, okay. We just don't want that, okay. If you want simpler form, okay, you are not going to see anything from here, okay. You are not going to see anything from here, okay. So you see one example here, okay. So anything from here to 1400 we don't want to see. Is that clear, everyone? Guys, are you with me?
Sir, can repeat again, sir?
Yeah, I'll repeat again, okay. First, let's not actually focus on the theory. Let's focus on the how to use the absorbance, okay. First of all, if you have a data, I want you to ignore the 800 to 1400 region. So 800 is going to be the wave number, okay. So the wave number, anything from here 1400, okay, to here, I don't want you to see, okay. I don't want you to see, I don't want you to see, okay. I don't want you to see. All these are taken from your textbook. I don't want you to see this part. So this is in one example of question, and I don't want you, you can see what happens over here. There's a lot of lines over there. I don't want to see this. Now, the rest, okay, if you look over here, this is going to be the absorbance, okay, the absorbance, and you can see this is 100% absorbance, which means completely going to absorb, okay. And then this is going to be no absorbance at all. How do we look? I want you to look at the dip or the peak, okay. The peak is not this one. I don't want you to look at the peak over here. The peak that we are going to actually look is going to be the other way around, because it's 100% is going to be at the bottom. So we are looking at the peak here. We are looking at the peak over here. Is that clear? Now, if you look at the peak over here, okay, this is going to be an example of ethanol. Okay, example of ethanol. And I want you to memorize this part. If you have alcohol, the absorbance is going to be broad. Broad means it's going to be broad. Okay, broad. If you're, this is going to be broad as well. Okay, what is sharp? This is going to be sharp. Okay, very sharp. Okay, what is weak? Okay, weak and strong. This is strong because closer to 100. Weak, maybe what is weak? So maybe this one is considered weak. very weak. Okay, this is weak as well. Okay, understand this part. So I want you to actually remember these terms. You have broad, okay, you have sharp, and you have weak, and you have strong. Okay, these are the terms that they are going to actually use. So I want you to memorize this. Yeah, for alcohol, the absorbance is going to be broad. Okay, something like broad. Okay, like this, and the range is going to be from 3,200 to 3,550. If you look over here, this is going to be 3,200, 3,550 somewhere here. So we are looking at here. We are looking at the peak over here. So if you have any peak around here and the absorbance, you can see the absorbance is going to be broad, okay? And this is going to be an indication that this is going to be alcohol. Now, what is the simpler way to look at it? Okay, when you answer your question, you answer that way. But simpler way to look at it is like this. The moment you see something like, okay, if I actually put it as like this, okay, it looks like a ghost that is actually giving you a peace signal. Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay, if you get that, okay, most likely it's going to be alcohol. Okay, but make sure that this peak is going to be from 3,200 to 3,500 or 3,550. I put over there. Okay, so this one is from your textbook. Okay, if you look over here, this is alcohol, so OH. Okay, OH. So here they mentioned that, okay, it's either from here to here. Okay, so anything that actually going to be alcohol is going to be over here. So this one we cannot say for confirm, but most likely, okay, this one is going to be alcohol. Okay, the other compounds, they will not have any absorbance that way. Now, if you look at here, similar to earlier one, but here, okay, you don't have like this, okay? What you have is going to be something like this, okay? Very broad, broader than the alcohol, okay? And this one is belongs to carboxylic acid. So you look at the notes over here, carboxylic acid is going to be very broad, okay? But what you need to remember is going to be the range 2,500 to 3,300. 2,500 to 3,300. Okay, the range will be here. Okay, the earlier is going to be, the range is going to be 3,200 to 3,550. So there are some kind of a difference over there. Okay, but if you want in a simpler form, okay, this belongs to alcohol, this one belongs to carboxylic acid. If you want to explain your answer, you need to use this range. Okay, now other forms, ketone, aldehyde, and other form of acid, carboxylic acid, okay, they are going to have this one, okay? And do remember, ethanoic acid is also acid. So you see, 1,640 to 1,750 is strong and sharp. They actually mention about this over there. Can you understand here? It means for carboxylic acid, you will have two indications, this one and this one. Okay, for but the best way to identify carboxylic acid is this one. Okay, but carboxylic acid will also have this. So I will just draw, if carboxylic acid, they will have another one like this. So this is one indication, another indication over there. Now for ester, okay, this one is ester. You see there is no broad spectrum, okay? What you see is something like this and this, okay? So where do we actually see, okay, this one, you look at the notes, okay, it's 1,000 to 1,300, somewhere here, okay, this one, this part. And then the ester is going to be 1,700, so somewhere here, okay? They didn't actually mention about 3,000 over there, okay, because 3,000 is like similar to carbon hydrogen bond and so on. So for ester, it's going to be more like towards here. Okay, you can actually have a look at the data given. Now, this data over here is given, okay, given in the data booklet. Okay, but what is not given, okay, I want you to memorize this. I want you to memorize this. It's the same thing only. Okay, I want you to memorize it. I will actually repeat this again, okay, during the 5 o'clock lesson. Okay, then if you have question, you can ask me during that time. Is that okay, guys?
Yes.
Yeah. So I'll stop the meeting. Today there is no assignment. Okay, you just need to actually read on this, and then you just go through my video. Later I'll share the video in YouTube. Okay, thank you, guys.